Module 7.3, the System Builder, In-Running Module Part 2. Welcome to Module 7.3 of your Proform Professional Training course. This module covers the following: high in-running prices and percentages, research odds, in-running presentations. In this first part, we're going to look at high in-running percentages. High in-running percentages can be a good tool to find horses that, when winning, they trade a lot higher in running. So for this example, we'll use a DEX query to query against horses running on Tuesday, the 19th of February. So we select the date, the 19th. We want to use horse declarations, and then in the in-running tab, on the percentage higher than Betfair SP, we're going to enter greater than 100. So this means it was at least twice its Betfair SP in running at some stage. Now we'll run this initially, and you'll see it return all the horses running today and all the times that they've traded higher in running by 100% or more. So this first one is 12 times that's happened, and it's won one of them. Now obviously every time they lose, they're going to trade higher in running because they'll go to 1,000. And also this report will have pulled back items where it's only happened on one occasion. So for this type of report, we actually want to filter it by the number of wins, because we wanted to find horses that win on a regular basis and trade higher in running. So we'll set a filter up for at least 5 wins. And then run the system again. And we now only have the list of horses that have at least had 5 wins where they've traded higher in running at least 100%. So if we take Chicago Grey as an example and double click and have a look at its record, we can see on this win back in 2009 it was 3.25 Betfair SP and traded 9.8 in running. And you can see by the colour coding that it's in red that it was at least twice the Betfair SP. That's because in the preferences I have my in-running colour coding set to colour when IRI is 100% higher than Betfair SP, and then I've set it to red with white text. And if we just expand this screen, we can look at the comments in running and see why this might have happened, and it was held up, which is why the price will have moved out at some point. And if let's go down and find the most recent win, we can see the Cheltenham win here. It went off at 7.48 and traded at 14, held up again, and it's generally an held up horse is this one. Let's take another example. Standguard is one that's running today as well, and if we look at the most recent wins, now even when this one went off at 1.15, so it was 1 to 8, it traded at 1.78 in running. And the same again 2 wins ago at Wolverhampton, it went off 10.89 and traded at 85 in running. This time it's because it just led in the final strides. But you can find this sort of horse on a regular basis that they're just ridden to just lead just on the line because they don't like to be in front. And these are the sort of horses that, if you fancy it anyway, you can put in a higher price in running at a little bit extra stake just to get some inflated price. If it's going to lose, it would have been taken anyway. So let's say they put 2 or 3% of your total stake in running and the rest on the nose, if that's how you want to back them. So that's high in running percentages. So if we look at the in running tab, you can actually do it on high in running price. So this is a little bit more tricky because you don't know what the price of the horse was to start with, so you're just looking for really inflated prices in this case. So we just put in 100, which would be 99 to 1 on Betfair. And that returns us nothing with the filters set. So we'll unset the filters and run it again. We'll sort by wins. And we see the one that's done it the most is follow the flag. And we'll just have a look at his wins. So I'll show you a little trick to look at the wins. We go to finishing position and put 1 in. Back to the system results. Double click the horse. It just shows us the wins from that record. And we can see on these 3 wins, it traded 210, 150, 150. I'd driven this first run, which is probably why it traded that big. And it was well outpaced in this one, which is probably why again. And then this one it led final strides. So the best thing with these is to have a play around and find the best angles using the I in running prices and percentages. So next we will take a look at the research lowest in running prices. These are used to research what profit and loss laying horses at a particular in running low price would return. For instance, what is the returns to laying the field at a particular in running low price at a particular course or distance? To show you how to use this area of research, we need an example. We will look at Towcester Racecourse mainly because the uphill finish can produce some unexpected results. So we go to the Course tab, deselect all courses apart from Towcester. Then back in the In Running tab, we're first of all going to look at In Running low prices of 1.38. So we set the In Running low to less than or equal to 1.38 and the research price to 1.38. You will see that once you set a research IR low odds, that a yellow banner appears under the Betfair prices, so you know that you're using research odds. We'll now run the system, and we can see that there were 758 horses that traded 1.38 or less in running, and 542 of these went on to win. And the area I need to look at is the laying returns. So the laying returns to lay each horse at a 1 point stake at 1.38 after 5% commission was a profit of 4.42. And the returns to a liability of 1 point of laying all horses at 1.38 at Towcester after 5% commission is 11.64 points. So you can see from this initial query it would be profitable to lay the field in all races at Towcester. But let's break this down by race type. So we choose race type in the presentations, run this again. You can see it's the national and flat races where more than one horse in the field is getting beaten at 1.38. And these return 17.3 points to a 1 point limited liability lay on each one of those horses. So let's just select the national and flat races. Then run this again. So we've just got this one line of report. And now we have this information. Let's look at how to use the research price loop to look at various low research prices in running in quick succession for the Towcester national and flat races. We can set a loop price on the In Running tab so that the system will run through the Towcester national and flat races and show the returns for each price point we set. So in this case, let's start at 1.01, the lowest price, moving up in 0.01 price increments up to 1.38. We then just click on Run Loop, and the system builder runs various reports from 1.01 to 1.38 and stores them in the recent reports list. And we can see there's this profit on the 1.38, and we can now just look back at each report and see where the price point is that represents the best returns. And as you can see, we're up to 23 points limited liability staking in some cases by laying at 1.3. And if we keep going down, we're on 25, 28, so 28 at 1.25. And eventually the returns will diminish as we get lower down the scale. And we even saw a loss there. If you did the 1.12s lay in the field, you'd have made us loss laying them. You can see 1.07s are 25 points profit and 39 points profit on the 1.06s. So this shows you how you can use the in-running lows to research lay in the field at a particular course. We then broke it down by race type, and we then showed you how to use the research loop to look at all the prices. So you can use this to go through various courses. If you try it on the Nottingham Straight course, or courses where there's a stiff finish like at Toaster, experiment with using different distances at different racetracks. Some distances offer better lay in the field options than others. You could tie it into looking at only races at certain courses on certain ground conditions. Heavy ground is sure to throw up more lay in the field opportunities, and so on. Right, we'll move next on to the final part of this video, which is the in-running presentations. Now they're fairly self-explanatory. If you're looking at a particular horse, for instance, you could report back its in-running percentage ranges, so you can see how it trades by price or percentage. Let's take an horse we looked at earlier, which was Stand Guard. And we'll run all runs. So it's had 63 runs and 19 wins. And if we do a presentation then by in-running low price, it shows us all the prices that it's traded at in running. 101 is when it wins, so that's the 19 wins. And we'll then report by percentage, and these are the percentages low in running to Betfair SP. And then the more interesting reports are these two. So you've got in running by ranges. So this groups the price points together, so it's a little bit more meaningful. And the percentage one is the more interesting run, so that you can see the percentages grouped together. And you can use this not just against a horse, you could use it against courses and distances, or trainers, or whatever angle you want to then present by. And you can also present by the in-running eye prices and the ranges of the prices and the percentages and the ranges of the percentages. There is a video in the in-running section from the members dashboard that explains this feature in more detail. Well, that's it for module 7.3 training session. Next week we move on to our final 3 training videos.